Today we're gonna be reacting to his story being forced to play the world's deadliest game.
I jolted awake when I heard a speaker crackle and an excited voice came through. Rise and shine, sleepyheads, my favorite game is about to begin. I was terrified because I had no idea where I was.
Where is he, bro?
Speaking. And
Bro's
when I tried
deadliest
to
game?
sit up, the whole room spun so hard, but I didn't know why.
Is this guy in like Squid Games or something?
And when my vision got steady, I saw a room with gray walls and cameras in every corner, no windows,
what'd he do?
and 5 strangers. There was a man in Dr.
Yo,
Scrubs.
okay, yo, I gotta lie, bro. His stories and her stories, videos, bro. These guys got the craziest build, bro. Like, look at this. Like how? Oh my! Like, look at the edge of this guy's front part, torso, bro. Like, yo.
A pregnant woman anxiously biting her fingernails.
Oh no.
And a big man with broad shoulders.
Damn, bro. What is he repping with the lotto raises, y'all?
Shouting at a metal door. Let me out of here.
Oh,
and then
he's a
my heart
maniac.
dropped
No,
because
a
there was
kid?
little girl sobbing
Oh,
in the
you
corner
serious?
with 2 messy black braids. It looked exactly like my little sister Gia. It had to be her. I dragged myself across the floor toward her and pulled
You had to do that. You can walk her story.
her into my chest and hugged her tight and sobbed out, Gia, Gia, I'm here. I'm right here. I'm gonna get us out. But then she looked up at me with brown eyes when Gia's were blue, and my heart sank because it wasn't Gia at all. I whispered,
bro.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought you were my little sister. And her lip trembled, and she quietly said, I want my mommy. I felt bad for her, but just sat back on the floor in shock. And that's when I noticed the smudgy purple flower Gia had drawn on the back of my hand that morning before I left for work. My heart hurt because that flower meant Gia was waiting for me at home. So I decided right there that I was getting back to her no matter what. That's when a red countdown screen appeared high on the wall. 25 minutes.
For what?
Here's the bad news. You've all been poisoned, and that clock you're staring at. That's how long you've got before it kills you.
Yo, how you supposed to win, bro?
But then he said, the good news is there's an antidote hidden somewhere in this building. And I almost sighed a breath of relief, but the voice continued. But don't get excited now, because there's only one antidote, so you all have to decide who walks out of here alive.
Yo, is this like, this gotta be experiment, because like, what the, yo, who set up this game, bro? I swear this is about to be Mr. Beast in 2050.
I balled my hands into fists as I decided that I was getting out of here before the timer hit 0. But that's when I grabbed my head because the poison was eating away at my brain. That's when the big man gruffly said, listen up, I've got a wife and 2 kids at home, and I'm the only one putting food on the table, so
shut your hey, bro. It's every man for himself at this point, man.
That antidote.
Who gives a frick?
My heart raced.
Though I don't know if everyone's gonna mess with him, cause bro, he got that broad shoulders, bro.
Because if he got the antidote first, Gia was losing her brother tonight, and I couldn't let that happen. The little girl pressed herself against my side and cried, but I want my mommy. Where's my mommy? Then the doctor jabbed his finger into
Was that Lava Mike or Dr. Mike?
You don't get to claim it just like that.
Facts.
Everyone in this room has somebody waiting for them.
Facts.
The big man shoved his
hey, this guy's smart, bro. This is why he's a doctor.
hand off his chest. I don't care. My kids need me home, and that's the end of it. The pregnant woman yelled back with her hand on her belly. And what about my baby? You think your kids matter more than mine? The big man clenched his fist and looked at both of them like he was deciding which one to deal with first. But the countdown had already dropped to 23 minutes. So if we didn't start looking for the antidote now, we were going to die here. So I got off the floor and got between them. Knock it off. We need to find the antidote first, and we figure the rest out together. The big man took a step toward me and roughly asked,
dude, I swear he's wearing football pads. Like, there's no way someone's built genuinely like this.
Who died and made you boss? My hand was sweating because he looked seconds away from punching me, but the doctor and pregnant woman knew my plan was their only shot at survival. So the doctor said,
what was the plan? Wait, what was the plan? Wait, what?
Knock it off. We need to find the antidote first, and we figure the rest out together.
Oh, okay, there we go.
And the pregnant woman nodded. The big man's jaw tightened.
Yeah, this guy has roid rage. There it is. Yep.
Furious
steroids.
That he didn't get his way, but I turned away from him because every second we stood here was a second closer to dying.
Whoa,
let's split up and check
why time move fast?
We split up through the 4 doorways leading off the main road.
Yo. Nah, I would actually just complain to that because yo, seconds don't work like that.
And I ended up checking the storage closet with the doctor.
Oh, what is this? We're playing like hide and seek with like lost and found.
The little girl. The doctor said, whoever did this wouldn't make this easy. Start tearing things open. But then he looked terrified as he struggled to open a jammed drawer because his hands were trembling badly. I walked over and opened it for him, and he muttered, thanks. We quietly searched next to each other, but my heart was pounding hard because every empty drawer was a minute of searching.
Damn, bro.
So I talked to him to ease my nerves a bit. Who do you have waiting for you at home? He gripped the edge of the counter and his eyes filled with tears. My fiance. We're supposed to get married in 2 weeks. I told.
Dude, honestly, all of them have tragic stories, bro. Everything's at stakes. Bro, you know what the thing with like his story and her story videos? Bro, they have crazy stakes, bro. It's like, hey, if we don't make it, we're gonna die, and my family dies.
Him I was sorry and asked him what she was like, and he let out a small laugh. She's the love of my life. If I don't make it out of here, she's going to think I abandoned her at the altar and she's going to be crushed. A tear ran down his face. I can't do that to her. I felt so bad for them that for a second I wanted him to make it out so they could get married. And then he went back to searching with more urgency. That's why I'm going to find the antidote. For her. That's when I felt a small tug on my shirt and looked down to see the little girl pointing up at the top shelves with tears in her eyes.
Wait, they
I
found
can't
it?
reach those. Can you help me? Her braids fell over her shoulders, and for a second I saw Gia standing in front of me, asking me to grab cereal off the top shelf. So I told her, of course, come here. And I picked her up under her arms and lifted her up to the top shelf. Started pushing things around looking for the antidote, and her body was trembling from the poison. But she didn't say anything because she was trying to be brave. After a minute, she quietly asked, "Am I doing it right?" And I smiled.
Yes,
You're doing perfect.
Yo, W his story, bro. Not only does this guy have crazy stories, he's a good whatchamacallit, encourager.
But I looked over at the countdown, and it was already at 18 minutes, so we really needed to hurry up. That's when the big man stomped into the storage closet and started yanking drawers open with sweat running down.
Of course, like, look at him, bro. Why is he angry while searching through the drawers? I bet the poison doesn't even affect him.
Down his face, muttering, Saturday, Saturday, and I didn't get why. Then the little girl gasped and clung to me.
Shorty has wrinkles and I don't. And I'm Monk.
I don't like him. I quickly pulled her into my chest so she couldn't see him.
Bro, you gotta adopt her at this point.
Quietly said, "You're okay. I'm not gonna let him hurt you." The big man looked at us and said, "Only one of us is walking out of here. Remember that." I got nervous because it was clear he was going to
Hey, watch this. Hey, I'm gonna make a prediction, y'all. It's a social experiment. If you don't work together, you lose. If it's every man for themselves, it's every man for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, if you work together, everyone lives. If you don't, everyone dies.
For the
My prediction.
And then he stomped off into another room. The little girl looked up at me with tears in her eyes, and her voice cracked when she asked, "So I won't see my mommy?" My throat closed up
chill,
because
bro.
I didn't know how to answer her,
bro.
but I pulled her back into my chest and told her, "Don't listen to him. You're gonna see your mommy. We just need to find the medicine." She nodded, but I didn't even believe what I said. I set her back down on the floor, and we got back to searching. I grabbed a small container from one of the lower shelves, and before I could open it, a wave of dizziness hit me so hard I had to grab the shelf to keep from falling.
Bro, this is like when you're on 3 hours of sleep, and then out of nowhere, you're like, shh.
I gulped anxiously
You're like,
because the
oh, I
poison
gotta take a
was
nap or
getting
something.
worse, but we weren't getting close to finding the antidote. The little girl saw me struggling and reached up. "I can do it." I gave it to her and noticed my purple flower getting more smudged. And I told myself the first thing I was doing when I got home was letting Gia draw a new one. But then the little girl looked inside and frowned.
Come on, what?
It's empty. My heart dropped,
got
but
my
I forced a
eye.
smile and said, "That's okay. You did really good. You're helping us a
Yo,
lot."
this guy's too
And her
positive.
face lit up. But then she started coughing really hard, and her face went pale, and her little legs gave out.
No,
I caught her before she hit
bro.
the floor, and we both slid down to the ground together. My heart was racing because she was getting sicker fast. "Just rest for a second, okay? I'm gonna stay right here with you." She rested her head against my arm and quietly
Hey, bro,
said,
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I ain't gonna lie his story, bro. You gotta hurry up and, find the antidote, bro.
"I want my bunny. He always makes me feel safe." I talked to distract her from the pain. "What's his name?" "Mr. Peanut," she said. And when I told her that was a silly name, she giggled, but it quickly turned into another cough, and it worried me. But my worry got worse
60
when I
minutes
saw
left.
the countdown at 16 minutes. My stomach
Reinforcing the
twisted
stakes.
because I needed to be searching for the antidote to get back to Gia, but I couldn't leave the little girl alone either. But that's when the doctor walked over to us. "There's nothing else in here. We have to check the other rooms." I pushed myself off the floor on shaky legs.
Hey, yo, pregnant woman, bro. Where you at, bro? I haven't seen you since y'all gathered together, bro. Like, I get it, you're pregnant, bro. But you only got 60 minutes to live now.
Lifted the little girl up to her feet, and we headed into the next room to keep searching. The pregnant woman was
my bad.
already in
My
there opening
fault.
cabinets,
My
but she
fault.
was struggling to bend down and check the lower ones because of her belly. So I told the little girl to start checking the drawers on the other side of the room,
Hey,
and then I walked
W,
over to the
W.
pregnant woman and told her, I'll check the low ones. You can check the higher cabinets. She let out a relieved breath and said, thank you. I opened the lower
his story, bro. Hey, let me just kiss you at this point, man.
And she checked the high ones.
Hey, true gentleman, bro. For my female audience out there, you gotta find his story. The character.
And I asked, how far along are you? She rubbed her belly. 7 months.
Oh.
I'm naming her Connie, after my mom. I told her, that's a pretty name. And her eyes filled with tears. My mom's been sick for a while now, cancer. And this baby's the only thing keeping her holding on. Don't make it out of here, she's never gonna get to meet her. I softly said, Connie's lucky to have a mom like you. And she gave me a small smile. Thank you. That means a lot. I felt a little happy that I could comfort her. And then we went back to searching. But we didn't find anything, and the countdown had dropped to 15 minutes.
10 minutes has passed, bro.
But the big man stomped past us and started ripping every cabinet open, muttering, Saturday. I can't miss Saturday. Saturday's his birthday. I got him a bike. I gotta be there. My heart broke for him, because that's what he'd been muttering this whole time. And
damn, bro. That really shows that, like, hey, you never know what people are going through, y'all. Like, if someone cuts you, I'm referencing a video that I've seen on, like, Instagram. Hey, if someone cuts in front of you in traffic or whatever, hey, they might be in a hurry. It's not a bad thing, you know what I mean?
Now I couldn't even be mad at him for fighting so hard for the antidote. The 5 of us started ripping through every drawer and cabinet because we all had someone waiting for us at home. And after a couple of minutes, the little girl opened a cabinet in the back and pulled out a small glass vial. And she turned to everyone asking, is this the medicine? My heart actually stopped for a second.
Oh my gosh, yo, you better cause conflict, girl. Hey, I know that big guy's about to snatch that thing out of her. Watch, hey, yo.
Because that was our way out.
W prediction, ready? 3, 2, 1.
And realized we all wanted it. The doctor tightened his jaw. The pregnant woman's hand went to her belly, determined to save her baby. And the big man's eyes locked onto that vial like nothing else in the room existed. That's when everyone moved at once. The doctor crouched down in front of the little girl with tears running down his face and held out his ring finger to her. Sweetheart.
Bro, oh my gosh, bro. We're about to play that empathy game, bro. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do the same though. Hey, my dad died, y'all. Subscribe to help me. Like,
look at my ring. It's pretty right.
Hey, my mom died, my sister died, my brother died. If you guys...
The little girl sniffled and nodded slowly. It's really pretty. Yeah, it is. My fiance. She's really pretty too, and she's waiting for me. You want to help me get back to her, right? Just give me the medicine.
Oh my gosh, you know what's bad thing about that? Usually with kids, they will listen to adults. It doesn't matter what they say, they just listen. They just do it because they're still kids. They won't think for themselves.
I got so mad I grabbed him by the back of his scrubs and yanked him away from her, yelling, Are you seriously manipulating a little girl right now? We stumbled back, and the pregnant woman immediately rushed at the little girl from the other side, sobbing, I'm sorry, sweetheart. My mommy's been waiting her whole life to meet my baby,
Oh my gosh,
so I
hey,
can't
bro, right there, I would have been
die here. I let go of the doctor and shoved her away.
There we
go.
Yeah, hey, screw that pregnant woman, bro. I don't care. She got a baby.
Stop it. She's a child. Are you all out of your minds? And that's when.
Oh no! See now. This is where his story might be outmatched, y'all. Let's see
forward, his face wet with tears, my body filled with dread when he roared, "I told you that antidote was mine!" and charged straight for us. I threw myself in front of the little girl to protect her, but the big man slammed into us so hard, we crashed back into the cabinet,
and it breaks, right?
The vial flew straight out of her hand.
Oh my gosh.
Everything moved in slow motion.
Holy snap.
Because that was our only way out, and it was falling right under our noses. The doctor dove forward. The pregnant woman screamed and lunged with both hands out, and the big man stumbled trying to catch it. But the glass vial hit the concrete and shattered into 100 tiny pieces, and the clear liquid splattered across the floor.
Wait, what? Why didn't it shatter in pieces the first time?
The room went dead silent, except for the sound of the countdown ticking down to 11. And we all stood there, frozen, staring at what we'd just done. My legs gave out, and I dropped to the floor, devastated, because I knew I was never seeing Gia again. Then the voice came over the speakers with a long, mocking laugh. Oh, that was incredible.
Wait, let me guess. That's a fake.
Fighting just to break the only thing keeping you
alive.
Wait,
hold up.
Congratulations. You just killed each other. The big man dropped to his knees and just pulled a folded photo out of his wallet with shaking hands. I could see it was 2 little boys and a woman, and he muttered, I'm not gonna be there Saturday, buddy. Daddy's not gonna make it.
Honestly, screw this guy, bro. I don't care, bro. Yo, his empathy, his sadness, his trauma dumping will not work on me, bro.
Him cry made my chest ache. And then I saw the pregnant
Man,
woman
frick
sink
this
to the
pregnant
floor
lady.
and pressed her hands against her belly and started talking.
Gosh.
Connie, baby, I'm so sorry. Mommy's so sorry. Grandma was gonna love you so much.
Aw,
She's been
now I'm
waiting
actually
for you
sad.
her whole
Okay.
life. I had to look away from her because I couldn't watch a mother apologize to her baby for dying before she got to meet her. The doctor was also crying and playing with his engagement ring, whispering his fiance's name over and over. The little girl tugged at my shirt, and tears were streaming down her face when
Bro, like, wait, what's the plot twist? Because if you really think about it, after watching what we've seen, bro, there's no options left.
she asked, "Are we gonna die?" I dropped
What's
down
the next
to my
thing?
knees in front of her and pulled her into the tightest hug, sobbing hard, and I felt her little arms wrap around my neck and her braids pressed against the side of my face, and for a second, it actually felt like I was hugging Gia goodbye. But then the little girl started coughing badly, and when I let go, there was blood all over her mouth,
no,
and
that's
the pregnant
actually-
woman
that's
started
cooked.
moaning and clutching her stomach
Oh,
harder
no.
while the doctor collapsed onto his side.
Yo,
gasping
everyone's
for air.
dying.
I clutched my heart because it felt like it was being squeezed, but I ignored the pain and crawled over to the puddle and stared.
Wait, y'all should just drink it, bro. It's still an antidote at the end of the
I
day.
whispered, "I'm sorry, Gia."
Wait,
I'm
wait,
so
look. Antidote 1 of 2. You better run!
Because in 9 minutes I would be dead and she wouldn't even know. But then I saw the vial's label and my heart happily skipped a beat because it said antidote 1 of 2 in black ink.
Hey, don't tell the others, bro. Bro, please don't tell the others, bro.
I got up and held up the wet piece of label. "Everyone get up.
Oh,
There's
never
another
mind.
antidote in here. Look." The doctor's voice came out hoarse. "That's just a label. It doesn't mean anything. Just give up." But the big man wiped blood off his lip and dragged himself upright, using the wall for support. "I'm not dying in here. My son's birthday is on Saturday. If there's a chance there's another way out, I'm taking it."
Let's
The
go.
pregnant woman looked at him with a
Okay.
hint of courage she didn't have a second ago, and she pushed herself off the floor too. The doctor exhaled hard through his nose and also got up muttering,
Bro, what
"Fine."
you mean, bro? What you mean fine, bro? Hey, yo, go get your ass on the back on the ground, bro.
But if this is a wild goose chase, I swear to God.
Bro, y'all are about to die anyways. Just might as well try. It doesn't hurt to try. Bro, yo, with her and his stories, like, yo, so many times the characters just piss me off.
And he stumbled toward one of the 4 doorways without finishing the sentence. I helped the little girl up to her feet and she asked,
Yo, strong
"So
that
I will
girl."
go home to my mommy?" I nodded slowly and said yes, even though I didn't know if it was true, but I didn't want to break my promise to her. We all split up again to search rooms we hadn't
Bro, I
searched
swear
yet,
all the rooms are
but
searched.
my lungs felt like they were filling with something thick, and I had to stop every few steps to catch my breath. And then I checked the countdown again, and it was at 7 minutes, and I knew if we didn't find that second vial soon, we were all dying in here. But I continued to drag
Yo,
myself
where is
down the
he?
long, narrow hallway because Gia was waiting for me. At the end of the hallway was a small storage room with a glass vial and syringe sitting on a table in the back.
Wait, hold up,
My
antidote
heart
2.
jumped in my chest
Wait,
because that was my
use
way
it, bro.
back to Gia, and I almost ran toward it. But that's when the big man
No.
stumbled in through a door on the other side of the room. He looked angry
Oh,
when he saw
snap.
me, but then his eyes locked onto the table, and his whole body went rigid, and I knew I had to act fast because we only had 5 minutes left. I held up my
Wait,
hand.
big question here, y'all. Who would y'all save? Like, if you were to choose any of the characters, who would y'all save? Honestly, realistically, it has to be the pregnant woman because she has the baby. Just for the story, honestly, his story, bro. I can't lie, his story, bro.
Don't
He's
do
a good
anything
guy.
stupid.
Or maybe the girl too.
We promised
The
we'd
little girl,
figure
not the
this out
pregnant.
together. He shook his head with
Yeah,
tears
screw this guy,
already
bro.
in his eyes. "It's not stupid. I promised my boy I'd be there for his birthday."
Oh, hey, guess what? Hey, think about others, little bro. Like, everyone has family.
Shoulders
They gotta go
dropped
back
forward an
to.
inch, and I watched him so closely my eyes started to burn because I had no way of knowing when he was going to make a run for it. But a few seconds later, he
Oh,
lunged
shoot.
towards
Yo,
the table,
football
and
tackle.
I ran after him. I tackled him, and we both dropped to the concrete floor. But even with the poison killing us both, he was still stronger, so he pushed me off
Damn.
and got up. He
Yo.
stumbled toward the table and grabbed the vial and the syringe, and I was going to get up, but that's when another wave of poison hit me, and my whole body
Oh,
went
bro,
heavy,
his story,
and I
bro. Yo,
couldn't move. Tears
cannot-
were streaming down my face as I watched him push the needle into the vial and with shaking hands fill the syringe.
No,
with
no,
the
no, no, no,
antidote.
no, 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 no.
Every part of me was begging my body to move because Gia couldn't lose me, but my body stayed still, so I shouted, "Please, I have a sister. She's only 7.
Oh.
She needs me." But he was already lifting the syringe
Bro,
over
can't they just split the antidote, bro?
his thigh, sobbing, "I'm sorry, my boy needs his dad." I dug my nails into the concrete.
Okay,
and
yo,
fell
his
to the
story, hey!
floor screaming
Come
because I
on!
wasn't letting Gia
Come on!
lose her brother. I grabbed his leg
Oh!
and yanked as hard as I could. He crashed down, and I
I know y'all can do better, bro. Yo, I love y'all. I love the content. I love his story, her story, bro. Yo, come on, bro. Yo, hey, let's be real. Hey, y'all could do better. I know you can.
And I jumped on top of him to get the syringe from him. We got tangled up, and he
Oh,
was
hold
holding
on
the
now.
syringe in
Hold
his
on now.
fist, trying to push it down
Already?
into his
Oh.
own thigh. But I grabbed his wrist with
Oh.
both hands and tried to
Yo,
pull it back
actually,
up.
his story's
He was
gotta be
crying so
strong.
hard he could barely get the words out. Please, please, just let me go home. Please. I shouted back through my own tears. I have a sister. I have a sister. But then he plunged the syringe
Bro,
straight
no,
down
not
between
again.
us. But we both stared at each other horrified.
Come on.
Because when we looked down at our
Oh.
thighs, the needle was in my thigh and the antidote was in me. I got off him and took the syringe out of my thigh, feeling relieved because Gia wasn't losing me tonight. But when I looked at the big man, his eyes were filled with tears, and I instantly felt guilt. He slammed his fist into the
Oh,
concrete
shoot.
next to him,
Is
hard
the high
enough to
quarters
split
also-
his knuckles open, and then his
What?
voice came out broken. Tell my boy I tried. Tell him his dad got him a bike for his birthday, and I tried to be there on Saturday. I told him I would because that was all I had left to give him, and then I pulled myself up using the table,
Bro, you got the antidote. Like, how is he still feeling like this?
stumbled toward the door. I entered the main room, and everyone was already there.
Whoa, that's cooked. Okay, never mind. I actually, my prediction is way off. I thought this was about to be a whole social experiment, but no, look at these guys' faces. They're pale as hell.
Sitting against the walls with blood on their mouths and gray skin. The countdown said we had 1 minute, but it didn't even matter anymore. The doctor rasped out, "Did you find it? Did you find another one?"
Bro,
And
they
the
can share. They genuinely can share,
pregnant
bro.
woman stood up, looking
that's
hopeful.
cooked.
The little girl looked at me with trusting eyes, and I had to look away from all of them, feeling ashamed, but I forced myself to look them in the eyes and said, "The big man accidentally injected me. The antidote's already inside me. I'm so sorry." The doctor's eyes widened in fear,
Damn,
and he let
bro.
out a broken chuckle. "I'm not gonna make it to the wedding." The pregnant woman started talking to her baby again. "I'm sorry, Connie. I'm so sorry." Little girl walked up to me on shaky legs and grabbed my hand and looked up at me and quietly said, "It's okay. Gia needs you." I started sobbing because I didn't deserve her being okay with this, and then the big man stumbled in, dragging himself
He's still
along.
alive? Bro, after he cracked his knuckles, bro, got folded by his story, and he's still going.
The wall.
Hey,
for
he's actually
support,
strong.
And that's when the voice came back laughing hard. "Oh, that was the best one yet. You couldn't have written it better if you tried. Congratulations to our winner." My chest felt heavy because I didn't feel like a winner. But then 4 red sniper dots appeared on 4 foreheads.
Wait.
One on the doctor's forehead, the pregnant woman's,
it's antidote.
the big man's,
It's antidote.
and
It's
the little
antidote. It's an
girl's.
antidote.
My breath got
Wait,
caught
my prediction actually might be right, y'all.
in
Watch,
my
bro,
throat
watch this,
from
watch
the
this.
realization that the little girl was going to die, and then everything around me slowed down. I felt my legs push off the concrete
Wait,
before
really?
my brain caught up, and the air around me went thick like I was running through water. I could hear my own voice screaming from somewhere far away. "No, no, she's a kid, she's just a kid." But my body was moving too slow. The dot stayed on her forehead, and her little eyes were still looking up at me like she was waiting for an answer.
Holy
I wasn't going to
cinematic.
push her out of the way in time. I wasn't going to make it. But then I tackled her onto the floor as 4 gunshots cracked through the air at once. The doctor, the pregnant woman, and the big man's bodies dropped to the concrete floor, but I could hear the little girl breathing. I felt the air rush back into my lungs and I sobbed, "You're okay. Oh my God, you're okay. You're okay." But then she coughed again, and blood
Wait, that's
landed
actually
on
hella
me,
blood.
and my face went pale because I forgot about the poison. Her little body started going limp in my arms. and I quickly
No,
sat down
no,
on the
wait,
floor
this is
and
so
cradled her in my
sentimental,
lap.
bro.
Hey, stay with me, okay? You're okay. Just stay with me. She looked up at me with her tired eyes
No.
and quietly said,
Oh,
"Can you
she
tell
looks
me
so
a bedtime
old.
story?" My mom.
Yo, bedtime. Nah, that's actually, bro. You better make me cry, man. His story, bro. I can't. Yo, I don't usually cry in YouTube videos, y'all. Like this
tells
might
me
be
one
it.
whenever I'm scared. I was so devastated I couldn't find the words. But if this was Gia's, I mean the little girl's last request, I had to try. So I took a shaky breath and said, "Once upon a time there was a brave little princess, and she lived in a castle with her stuffed bunny, and her bunny would protect her from any monsters that tried to get her. She smiled with blood on her teeth, and I had to bite the inside of my cheek so I wouldn't break down in front of her. She said, 'Just like me and my bunny.' I nodded and stared up at the ceiling because I was barely holding myself together. Yeah, just like you and your bunny, and the princess was never scared because her bunny protected her, right?"
Let's
I
go,
waited for
W
her
quotes.
answer, and my pulse quickened when I didn't get one. It took everything in me to
No,
look
no,
down
no,
at
no,
her,
no, no,
and I
oh my
saw
gosh.
Her eyes were still looking up at me, but there was nothing behind them
And her
anymore.
pupils
But I refused to believe it, and I shook her gently and asked about her bunny, but she didn't move, and I couldn't deny it after that.
Rest in peace, bro. Rest in peace, little girl, bro. And the freaking Mr. Beast Squid Games.
The little girl who held my hand and trusted me died in my arms. I gently closed her eyes and let out a broken sob, and I kept whispering, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, because I'd promised her she'd see her mommy, and I'd lied right to her face. I slammed my fist into the concrete and my bones cracked, but I didn't care. I looked up at the cameras and screamed, she was a kid. She was just a kid. Why her? Why did you take her?
Yeah, come on.
But no one answered me. That's when the countdown on the wall hit 0, and the door at the front of the room clicked open, allowing me to leave, but I couldn't let go of the little...
They were literally just, there was no like lab experiment, like there's just a door straight to the outside world, okay.
Little girl. I held her for as long as I could, but eventually I forced myself to lay her down gently on the floor.
This is tragic,
I gently brushed her braids out of her face one last time, and stood up with all the strength I had left. I fell into the wall, but I used everything to limp towards the light. But just as I stepped out, I heard the speaker. Congratulations, Jackson. I'm glad it was you.
Wait, did we just get his story's name? Jackson?
My eyes widened because he knew my name this whole time, and none of this had been random. I felt my fists clench. He was still toying
I don't think that was his fist.
with me after he killed innocent people. But I heard, there, someone's coming out. I looked up in shock and saw police cars and an ambulance lined up across the parking lot, and 2 officers were running up to me. One of them asked, "Sir, are you okay? Sir!" They grabbed me, yelling for medics. "Where are the others?" But my eyes filled with tears. "It's just me. I'm the only one." I saw his face go pale, but they rushed me over to the ambulance. "We need to hurry." They put me in the back of it. But that's when a woman walked up to me crying.
Is that your wife? Is that right?
Mister, my daughter was in there.
Oh, bro, you're just making it more harder on Jackson.
Is she coming out? I didn't know who she was talking about, but then my eyes widened when she pulled out a stuffed bunny from her purse. The same bunny the little girl kept asking for. She gets scared easily, so I brought her bunny. She'll be right out, won't she?
Yo, how'd you let this girl participate in such activity, bro? Yo, actually, parent, bro. Yo, what did I sign up for? The world's deadliest game.
Sobbing so hard I couldn't breathe, and the mom instantly realized her daughter was dead, and she dropped to her knees, bawling her eyes out.
That's cooked.
Then a little boy behind her said,
"Oh my gosh.
Mommy, so daddy's not gonna be at my birthday?"
Honestly, no, screw that guy. I don't care for that guy, bro. He was on roid rage.
The big man's picture.
That's low-key cooked. Never mind. You know, I take that back.
Mom, sir, we need to get you to the hospital. But I kept walking because I had a promise to keep to the big man. I knelt down to them. Your daddy wanted me to tell you something. They looked at me with curious eyes. What did daddy say? He got you guys a bike for your birthday on Saturday. He tried really hard to bring it home to you. He loved you two so much. They started crying, and their mom dropped down and pulled both of them into her chest, sobbing. Sir, we have to go now. I stood back up with the guilt eating me alive, and that's when I heard it. Jackson! I turned around and my heart actually stopped. Gia was running to me, braids bouncing and tears on her
wait, what? Bro, that looks exactly like the little girl in the thing.
Face. I fell to my knees and held my arms open. She crashed into me and wrapped her little arms so tight around my neck I could barely breathe. But when I saw the smudged purple flower on my hand, I sobbed harder because I'd made it home and she was going to draw me a new one tomorrow. Jackson, I thought I lost you. Please don't leave me ever again. I'm here, Gia. I'm not going anywhere. I promise. After a while, I pulled back and looked at her face, and her braids were a mess.
Look at her. She's
my
smiling.
Sister. I shakily whispered, "Let's go home."
Let's go home after
all that. Ambulance together. But as we climbed inside, I saw the big man's family and little girl's mom sobbing.
Oh my gosh, yo, pregnant woman. Yo, rest in peace, pregnant woman, y'all.
I realized I had survived the game, but I would never survive what it cost me.
Hey, there you guys have it, bro. Yo, shout out to his story, y'all. Seriously, bro. Hey, they don't make YouTube channels like this, bro. Bro's posting daily on the shorts, and he got some fire long-form videos. Go sub. If you guys want to see more content like this, click this video here.